I'm Sheriff John Bunnell. I've been an officer long enough to know that some things never change. Crooks still think they can get away, and cops will do anything they can to stop them. It's always interesting, sometimes terrifying, but it's never boring. Get ready. You're about to see what it's really like.
Kinston, North Carolina. Sheriff's deputies respond to a call of a fleeing robbery suspect.
33 way, Central 1043.
The officers weave through heavy traffic looking for the chase. But suddenly, the chase finds them.
Watch out, Chris. Watch out.
The deputies whip a U-turn, adrenaline coursing through their veins.
Oh, boy! Oh, man. Oh, man.
The deputies coordinate a move to cut him off.
Got to get up here and cross.
But the crook makes a move of his own, straight into oncoming traffic.
Central 1050, country west. Right there, 1050. Send fire and rescue immediately.
Officers quickly divide their duties. While 2 units help the injured civilian, the deputies go after the foot-bailing felon.
Get up there, Chris. Get up there. Let me in, man.
One officer jumps from the cruiser. The other drives ahead, closing off the suspect's path. The fugitive is outmanned. Within seconds, he's in custody.
We do have a 1072.
Back at the accident scene, officers tend to the civilian, who is lucky to survive. Police secure the area and gather the evidence that will put this guy away for a long time. In an instant, this lone robber became a one-man wrecking crew.
1050, send fire and rescue immediately.
But he was no match for the hard-hitting teamwork
Get up there, Chris. Get up there.
of the Wayne County deputies. Meban, North Carolina. When a wanted thief is spotted by officers, he puts the pedal to the metal. So do police. The suspect blasts through this tiny town and terrifying other drivers who quickly get out of his way.
I was concerned we wouldn't catch him. Also, that he may hurt somebody before we did get him stopped.
In a split second, this public menace is beyond the city limits. The suspect dives for cover on a side street. Hot on his heels, the driver has to dodge 2 other units. The second unit closes in. Unable to stop, slams into a fence. An officer tries to pin the driver in the car.
Very good start on me. He looked back at me one time like, I got you, and then the next time he looked back, all he saw was me.
Moments later, the suspect is collared and cuffed. From the beginning, these officers had to work together to keep a dangerous situation from turning deadly. This dust devil was no match for a coordinated police effort. And all the horsepower in the world couldn't keep the law from fencing in this Mustang.
Police cruisers are built to take the hard knocks because you never know when a police pursuit will turn into a battle of the bumpers.
Spartanburg County, South Carolina. Sheriff's Deputy Randy Hollifield takes the lead on a hot pursuit.
Going by the split, headed towards Springfield Crossing.
The 2 suspects are wanted for 70 home burglaries. Deputy Hollifield isn't going to let them reach 71. He taps their bumper. It's a warning that this deputy means business. Instinctively, the driver hits his brakes. But then he decides he's up for the challenge.
When they decide to run, number 1, that's probably their biggest mistake. Number 2, I think that even though people think that they're not trained to be able to drive the way that they're going to be driving.
Up ahead, police scramble to set up a roadblock. He cuts off another police car. The officer tries to stop the car before it reaches the blockade. But it doesn't work. As terrified drivers watch from their cars, the officers have no choice but to let the crooks through. Now it's one-on-one, and Deputy Hollifield takes the gloves off. Incredibly, the featherweight car holds the road. The suspect swings right, making one last effort to trick the cop. But the officer has a trick of his own. He's now at the perfect angle for a pit maneuver, an officer's ultimate pursuit weapon. The deputy's persistence pays off. With a perfectly timed hit, this high-speed rumble is over.
It makes you feel good to know that you took somebody off the street that's been breaking into people's houses and taking their goods, and it was also good that we were able to get everybody's property back to them.
In Spartanburg County, crooks will always have to deal with gritty officers like Randy Hollifield.
Coming right at you.
These career criminals got 10 years behind bars to think about all their mistakes. And after 70 burglaries and a high-speed pursuit, they'll have plenty to think about. Coming up on World's Wildest Police Videos. How fast is too fast?
100 miles an hour.
A dangerous drunk pushes his luck. And deputies push right back. It's pedal to the metal action. Next. Pelis County, Florida. When a reckless driver runs a stop sign, a sheriff's deputy takes off after him and immediately calls for backup.
I was heading southbound going towards the actual incident. The suspect vehicle was coming northbound in the southbound lane straight at me.
The officers have no time to think, only react. The pursuing deputy slams into the suspect's vehicle. The car spins out of control, and the deputy tries to box it in.
We had a lieutenant and a sergeant say, "Get the vehicle off of the roadway," as we did not want to involve any other citizens.
Glass and metal fly off the suspect's car, but his engine still works. This time the deputies are too fast for him.
I was basically rammed the vehicle at the center point, causing a T-bone. Once I T-boned the vehicle, that completely stopped it.
With only moments to avoid catastrophe, officers had to instinctively fall back on their training. And it wasn't until this high-speed chase ended that deputies got the lowdown on why this wrong-way, road-raging, bumper-crunching renegade wielded this car like a battering ram.
I got him in custody almost.
He was drunk. Now this public menace is out of the driver's seat and headed straight to the slammer.
Once an officer begins a pursuit, he wants to see it through to the finish. So even when a chase threatens to cross the state line, most officers will continue until the suspects are in custody.
Columbia, South Carolina. A car rockets ahead of a state trooper at 100 miles an hour.
114 northbound.
This stolen vehicle was hot-wired in Miami. The 18-year-old car thief has already blasted through Florida and Georgia. Officers don't know why the suspect is running. They only know that this has become a multi-state pursuit.
Negative, he's driving all over the place.
The daring driver blazes down the highway toward the North Carolina state line. A tenacious trooper tries to get close enough to pit the suspect's bumper. But at these speeds, it's just too dangerous. The officer won't risk anyone's life, not even the suspect's. With the state line quickly approaching, North Carolina authorities are on alert. Instead of stopping, he floors the accelerator and skids out of control right off the road. His plans got derailed when the South Carolina troopers put him into the Florida State Penitentiary. Kego Harbor, Michigan. When a gunman robs a dry cleaners and hits the road, police are right behind him. Despite having 3 units on his tail, the hoodlum won't stop for anyone.
They're not stopping.
To get this thug to cooperate, police tried different tactics. From intimidation to invoking common sense. But the renegade robber just won't listen to reason. He weaves through traffic like the white lines don't exist. When the suspect nears the neighboring town of Southfield, he becomes a threat to still another community. Southfield police have to take drastic measures to stop this armed marauder.
This is where it's gonna get touchy.
Now the robber thinks his dreams of escape may come true, but reality comes crashing in. Out of nowhere, a police unit blindsides the hatchback, spinning it out in a whirl of flying debris.
We got a hit.
Police quickly move in to disarm the dazed suspect,
Hit the gun!
without a shot being fired. This bandit thought he could hold up a dry cleaner's, then make a fast getaway.
This guy's going pretty good.
But he didn't count on two small-town PDs with one big surprise.
The scene of an accident. The lesson is always the same. Every foolish decision comes with a terrible price. Camden County, Georgia. Just minutes ago, the driver pulled away from a service station without paying. Usually an absent-minded mistake that most drivers are happy to correct. But the way this hellion chews up the asphalt, there must be more than a $20 tank of gas at stake. The officer hangs tight. The officer can get close enough, the sergeant can end this chase quickly.
I'm attempting to catch up with him.
The officer squeezes more power from his engine. Moments later, the crook pulls into the clear. Topping 110, the sergeant inches closer to his target. The suspect sees his familiar escape route open. He shoots for it and floors the gas. But then, the officer's worst fear comes true.
1050, send fire and rescue immediately.
The officer takes the suspect into custody and confirms the civilians are okay. Any one of these drivers could have been the victim of this maniac's insanity. Hearing a siren, most civilians will pull onto the shoulder, which is exactly where this madman tried to make his escape. A peaceful drive on a Saturday afternoon turned into a moment of living hell. And all for $20 worth of gas. From 0 to 100. From 100 to oblivion. When speed becomes a criminal's only friend, whatever gets in the way becomes an enemy. When that happens,
This guy's an idiot.
all it takes is one officer
We need to take him out here now.
to show the bad guys
All right, we got it, man.
what a real enemy can be.